In the last section, we have seen setup process in Python. We installed Python, we installed PyCharm, we developed simple Hello World programs. Let us continue Hello World programs itself. First and foremost, very important concept is printing. There is a print built-in method. How we can use that print built-in method? Right click on demo 1, go to the new Python file. Let's go for file name as T1. Any name we can choose. There is no condition while choosing a file name. I can go for print of any numeric number without a decimal. This is one type of value or literal. Another type of value, a numeric value with a decimal. You can call value or literal. The Boolean value or Boolean literal, it should not be under single quote or under double quote. If anything is under single quote or under double quote, it comes under string. Mainly Python is supporting 4 types of values, 4 types of literals. Numeric value without a decimal, numeric value with a decimal, Boolean, finally string. Numeric value without a decimal, you can treat this as a int type. Through comment, I'm specifying data type. Numeric value with a decimal is treated as a float. In the comments, I'm specifying data type. True and false is a Boolean. You can also call as a bool or Boolean. Under single quote or under double quote, it is a string. You can also call as a str. Str data type. By using print function, we can print any type of values, any type of literals. It can be numeric with or without decimal. It can be Boolean, true or false. It can be string. True and false. True, T in the uppercase. False, F in the uppercase. Try running. Please observe. Try running. Control Shift F10. Control Shift F10. You can see. Printing different types of literals. Different types of literals. Python doesn't have char type of literal. Even char also can be represented in the form of a string. Single character under single quote or under double quote, you can represent. There is no char data type. Single character can be represented in the form of a string only. So this is about to print. So what print is doing is printing specified number, then producing a new line. Printing specified number, producing a new line. Printing specified literal, Boolean literal, producing a new line. Printing specified string and then producing a new line. Let me run once again. We are getting output in different lines. After printing 100, automatically producing a new line. After printing 9.5, automatically producing a new line. After printing hello, automatically producing a new line. You can see the last one blank line. Print is having dual features, printing feature and producing a new line. Printing feature and producing a new line. How to print the data in the same line? How to print the data in the same line? There are two approaches printing data in the same line. Let us see both the approaches in the next program. Develop T2. Right click on your project, go to new, select a Python. I am choosing T2 as a file. Let me choose print of hello, comma, 30, comma, ABC, comma, false. All this will be printing in a single line by using a space as a separator. If you want to print some more in the next line, go for any type of literal, any type of literal. I'm just providing two print statements. Print statement, that is print method, can take any number of arguments. All these arguments will be printing in the same line. Try running Ctrl Shift F10. You can see by using space as a separator, printing multiple values in the same line. While choosing printing something in the same line, this is one approach. Let us see another program. Go for T3. Print of hello, comma, end is equal to one space. Print of 1, 2, 3, end is equal to one space. Print of 5.6, end is equal to one space. Print of 2, end is equal to one space. Ending a statement with a semicolon is very optional. Ending a statement with a semicolon is very optional. Control Shift F10. In the same line, second approach is widely using. Go for end, specify the separator. What could be the separator? I'm choosing a space as a separator. In the same line it will be printing. It won't produce a new line once printing is got over. Once printing is got over, it provides a delimiter and retaining in the same line. Let me go for another program where I can see different delimiter. Go to the right click, new, T4. Let's go for print of first statement, end is equal to semicolon. I'm choosing separator as a semicolon. Control will be retaining in the same line. Control will be retaining in the same line. But choosing what is the separator. You can go for different separators. Based on your requirement. Whichever separator you wanted, you can choose. It is more convenient. In most of the requirements, we will be using this approach to print multiple values in the same line. Try running. Control Shift F10. We have seen different types of literals. Different types of literals. Different ways of printing also. Let's see the variable. In case of Python, declaring a variable very simple. Let's go for T5. Any identifier, observe. Print of X. Variable. While declaring a variable, data type should not be. While declaring a variable, data type should not be. You can go for any type of the value, type of the literal. In the same variable, you can assign any type of literal. In the same variable, you can assign any type of value, any type of literal. Generally, variable is nothing but a container which is allowed to store one value. Which is allowed to store one value, a simple container. In that container, we can store one value. At any time, only one value. Later, you can modify the same value, varying value. That is why it is called as a variable. Let me run Control Shift F10. Variable means a container where we can store varying one value. At any time only one value. Same value can be modified whenever we wanted. Same value can be varying whenever we wanted. In case of Python, values can be any different types. Initially int value, then float value, then boolean value, then string value, again string value. It is up to your requirement. Inside a variable, you can store any type of value. If you consider Java, only one type of value we can store in the variable. If variable is an int type, we can store only int type values. If variable is a float type, we can store only float type values. If variable is a string type, we can store only string type values. In Python, variable doesn't have a type. We can store any type of the value. We can store any type of the value. Every interviewer differentiating Python with Java, the reason is every interviewer already knows Java. For every concept, it is advisable to know the difference between Python and Java. In case of Java, while declaring a variable, you have to assign with a data type. If you assign data type as a int, then you have to store only int type of any value. If you declare a variable as a boolean, then any boolean value. But in Python, while declaring a variable, type is not required to specify. We should not specify type of the variable. This is a generic container. You can store any type of value. Based on the type of value, type of the variable will be changing. Based on type of the value, variable type will be changing dynamically. Initially, we stored 67, which is a int type. X data type will change to int. We are printing. Then we are changing to 8.9. X data type also will be changing to float. Then we are replacing to true. X data type will be changing to boolean. Then we are replacing to string. X data type will be changing to string. Variable data type is a dynamic. Based on the value, variable data type will be changing. Come to the next example. I can go for x is equal to 10, I is equal to 2, j is equal to 5.6. Based on your requirement, you can declare any number of variables. All these variables can be printed in the same line. X. Try running. Let us see p comma 2 comma r is equal to p value comma q value comma r value. This is the syntax used in Python to declare multiple variables in the same statement. Let me go for printf p comma q comma r. Let's go for the running. Let's move to another program. Please observe. P7. Let us see first variable, then its value, then usage. This is absolutely possible in other programming languages. What about in Python? Please observe. In Python, we are getting an error. In other programming languages, absolutely possible. Specifying name of the variable, then specifying initial value, then using that variable. If you go to Java, first variable declaration with data type, then initial value, then usage for printing. In Java, it is a proper, but in Python, wherever variable is declaring, there itself you have to provide initial value. Initial value should be provided while declaring a variable itself. Later you can modify wherever you wanted. Initial value, that is first value, should be provided while declaring a variable. Later, wherever you wanted, you can modify. In other programming languages, first to declare a variable. While declaring a variable, you can assign a value or you can assign a value in the next statement. That is absolutely possible. But in Python, that is not possible. Wherever variable is declaring, there itself you have to provide initial value. Mainly there are three differences between Python and Java with respect to variables. There are three main differences. First one, in case of Python, variable should not have a data type. The data type is a dynamic. Data type will be automatically based on the value. We should not provide a data type to the variable in Python. Data type is automatic, that is based on the value. In Java, while declaring a variable, data type is mandatory. Data type is a mandatory. Why? Because Java allows one type of values in one variable. Java allows one type of values in one variable. But Python allows any type of values in one variable. That is why we should not specify explicitly data type while declaring a variable in Python. Whereas in Java, while declaring a variable, data type is mandatory. This is the first difference. What is the second difference? The second difference is wherever variable is declaring, there itself we should provide initial value in Python. In case of Python, while declaring a variable, initial value should be provided in the same statement. Reinitialization can be done wherever you want it, but initialization should be at the place of declaration in Python. Whereas in case of Java, you can declare a variable. While declaring a variable, assigning a value or not is up to you. If you have a value, you can assign a value while declaring a variable. Assume you don't have a value while declaring a variable. Later you will be getting a value. Later you can assign a value, initial value wherever you want it. In case of Python, while declaring a variable, initial value mandatory. In case of Java, while declaring a variable, initial value is not a mandatory. You can provide an initial value afterwards also, but that initial value should be before usage. In Java, declare a variable. You can assign a value before usage. In case of Python, declare a variable while declaring itself. Provide an initial value. Initial value should be provided while declaring itself in case of Python. In case of Java, you can define something like int x, then x is equal to 10. Then something like a system dot out dot println of x. This is very proper in case of Java. This is the Java syntax. While declaring a variable, data type is mandatory. While declaring a variable, initial value is not a mandatory. If you wanted, you can provide initial value. Later, you can provide initial value before usage. This is the usage. Before usage, you have to provide initial value. Semicolon also mandatory for every statement in Java. So in case of Python, it's not allowed. In case of Java, it is allowed. This is the second difference. What is the third difference? Let's move to the third difference. The third difference, come back to the previous program. You can see PQR. Then assigning values one by one. This type of statements, syntax is varying in Java. In Java, how we can go for this type of statements. Let's go for int p comma q, p is equal to value, let us consider 12, q is equal to value, r is equal to value. And even printing also, it's not easy. If you want to print in the same line by using space as a separator, you have to go for concatenation. You can see the clear difference between Python and Java while going for multiple variables declaration in the same statement. Here in the same statement, multiple variables. Here also in the same statement, multiple variables. The main difference in the Python and also in Java. First, list of variables by using comma as a separator. Then list of values in the same order by using comma as a separator. P value ABC, Q value 56, R value 8.9. First to declare all three variables, then assign values to all three variables in the same order. So in case of Python, three variables, all three should be same type. It can be int type, or it can be float type, or it can be string type. It cannot be one int, another string, another float. But Python allows multiple type also. Here P is a string type, Q is a int type, R is a float type. In case of Java, all three should be one type. All three should be one type only. If it is a int, all three should have a int values. If all three going as a float, then all three should have a float values. All three should have a same type of values. So here I cannot make here I cannot make p as a int, q as a string or as a float. That cannot be possible. Int is a common to p, q, r. Whereas in case of Python, you can go for individually any data type. P is one type, Q is one type, R is one type, or you can go for all three also same type. It is up to you. It's up to your requirement. These three are main differences between Python and Java with respect to variables. Still some more differences are there. Those you will be coming to know in down the line. Those cannot be understood today itself. Now let us see type of the variable. Please observe. I'll move to another program. T8. Let us go for x is equal to 10. We know what is the x value. X value. We can also print type of the x. There is a built-in function x. There is a built-in function type. This type of built-in functions are not available in Java. It's not very easy to identify type of the variable. In Python, lot of built-in functions are there. In case of Java, to print one line, you have to develop at least 5-6 lines of the code. In Python, to print one line, just one line, print off anything. So Java, you have to develop a class, inside a class main method, inside a main method SOP. But in Python, you can have a inline development straight away in the program without a class, without a method. Similarly, we have a lot of built-in functions. Straight away we can find out the type. In Java, it is not straightforward. You have to convert into wrapper classes, then you can able to find out through instance of. That is little lengthy. We don't require to bother about Java syntax to identify type of the variable. But in Python, there is a type function, type built-in function. For the type built-in function, I'm supplying a x. I need to find out what is the type of x. Whatever type of x is returning, that value I'm printing through print function. Go for running. You can see class int. You will be knowing what is this class later. In case of Python, everything is a class internally. You may not be able to understand now itself. It is producing a class. Just to go for class, specify int. Consider type as a int. Even though output is this much, here type is int. Int type of the value. Now, what I'll do is, I will modify to float value. Again, I will be modifying to string value. Again, I will be modifying to Boolean value. You can see same variable is same variable, different values. based on the value type is changing. Let me run this one. You can see type. Initially, it was holding int value. Type is a int. Later, holding float value. Type is a float. Str, bool. We can easily identify type of the variable. There is a built-in function type. You can use that built-in function type to identify what is the type. We have seen almost every information related to variable. The last point, which name can be identified to the variable name, whether any name can be possible or any rules are allowed, any rules are there. Please observe, name of the variable you can treat like an identifier. We are identifying name to the variable. Identifier. T9. Already we have seen something like ABC is equal to 10, print ABC. This is absolutely proper. I choose a name as a ABC. Try running. Absolutely proper. You can check it out with upper cases somewhere. A with uppercase. Try running. What you understood? Any alphabet, lowercase or uppercase, allowed in the name of the variable. I just choose ABC. If something is holds good for ABC, then same will be holds good from A to Z. Come on. Any alphabet can be used in the name of the variable, that is in the identifier. It can be lowercase alphabet in the uppercase alphabet. Lowercase or uppercase alphabet allowed. Then the second point, let us choose a digit. Try running. Control Shift 10. Digit is allowed. Digit is allowed. Check it out whether digit is allowed in the first location or not. Whether digit is allowed in the first location or not. You are getting some error from the Python itself, PyCharm from IDE itself. Try running. You are getting an error. What you understood? Digits are allowed but not in the first location. Digits are allowed but not in the first location. Nobody will be having a name as 1 Vijay, 2 Ramu, 3 reduction, 4 college. There may be names like a Ramesh 1, Vijay 2, college 1, order 2, bus 3. But not 1 bus, 2 college, 3 principal, 4 project manager. We can have a project manager 1. We can have a employee 5. Digits are allowed but not in the first location. In the first location, digits are not allowed. From second location onwards, digits will be allowed. Let me keep 9 after A. It is absolutely possible. Try running. So 3 points we have seen. Lowercase alphabets anywhere we can use. Uppercase alphabets anywhere we can use. Lowercase alphabets, uppercase alphabets anywhere we can use. The third point, digits we can use but not in the first location. Digits we can use but not in the first location. 3 simple points we have seen. Uppercase alphabet anywhere, lowercase alphabet anywhere, digits from the second location. From 0 to 9, any digit from the second location. Then, what about special characters? I'm just choosing underscore. Let us see underscore whether it is allowed or not. Try running. Underscore is allowed. Please observe. One special character underscore is allowed. Let us see whether underscore is allowed in the first place or not. I'm using underscore in the first place. It is allowing in the first place also. Underscore, that is one of the special character. You can use underscore anywhere in the identifier. You can use underscore anywhere in the identifier. The fourth point, one special character that is underscore, it can be used anywhere in the identifier. Anywhere in the identifier. What about other special characters? Generally dollar. Let us see whether dollar is allowed or not. We are getting an error. In case of Java, dollar also allowed in the identifier. But in case of Python, dollar is not allowed. Let us cross check once again. Dollar in the last location. Try running. Nowhere dollar is allowed. In Java, two special characters are allowed in the identifier. One is a underscore, second one is a dollar. But in case of Python, only underscore is allowed. Only underscore is allowed. Dollar is not allowed. Let us see randomly any other special character. Let me go for percentage. I'm choosing percentage at the end. You are getting error. You can check it out with any other random special character. I'm using ampersand. Again error. You can choose any other special character. Let's go for hash mark. Hash mark already defined for single line comment. You are getting an error. Let's go for at the rate. You are getting error. Please observe fourth point is only one allowable special character, that is underscore, that can be anywhere in the identifier. Only one special character allowed, that is underscore, that can be in the beginning or in the middle or at the end, anywhere in the identifier. So totally 4 rules we have seen. Lowercase alphabet anywhere, uppercase alphabet anywhere, digit, any digit from second character onwards, then Allowable special character is only one, that is underscore, no dollar. In Java, underscore and dollar both are allowed, but here only underscore. Then the fifth rule, please observe, no keyword can be identified as a identifier. We cannot choose variable name, function name, class name, reference name as a keyword. Every programming language will have a bunch of keywords. You may be already knowing what is a keyword. Keyword is a word which is having a special meaning in the programming language. It's a reserved to the runtime. We should not choose keyword name for our variable name. We should not choose keyword name for our function name. We should not choose keyword name for a class name, for a reference name, for a package name. Wherever identifiers we are choosing, their keyword should not be chosen as an identifier. Let us see one. Already we know true. True is a boolean, literal. It is a keyword. I'm choosing variable name itself. Variable name itself as one of the keyword. One of the keyword. I'm printing the same variable. We are not getting any error here. It is considering that as a literal. We can print the literal. We are printing the literal, not the variable. This first line giving an error. We are trying to choose keyword as a name to the variable. Keyword as a name to the variable. In Python, lot of keywords are there. No keyword can be chosen as a name to the variable, as an identifier to the variable. No keyword can be named to the function. No keyword can be named to the class, named to the reference, named to the package. Wherever names you are choosing, you should not go for keyword. So something like a if also a keyword. You will come to know more about if else blocks. I am choosing name of the variable as a if. I am choosing name of the variable itself as a if. That cannot be possible. That cannot be possible. No keyword can be chosen as a identifier to the variable. No keyword can be chosen as a identifier to the function. No keyword can be chosen as an identifier to the class or reference or package. This is the last rule. You have to go for any name to the variable. That name should be very valid. There are some rules while identifying an identifier. We are treating like a 5 rules. First one, any alphabet allowed, lowercase alphabet. Second one, any uppercase alphabet allowed. Third one, digits allowed only from second location onwards. In case of special characters, only underscore is allowed, but anywhere underscore. The fifth rule is no keyword choose as an identifier. No keyword choose as an identifier. Then one simple note. Is there any limit in the length of the identifier? Is there any limit in the length of the identifier? No limit. You can go for any number of characters as an identifier. There is no limit. You can see. Generally, you may not be going for name with 1,000 characters or 2,000 characters. Even though lot of identifiers, you may go for identifier length as a maximum 30, 40 or 50 or 200 characters. So still if you wanted, you can go for any number of characters in the identifier, any number of characters. Number of characters are not having a limit in the identifier. One more note. Most of the beginners choosing a space in the identifier. This is very common, very common. Most of the people, even CSC people also committing this type of mistake. From today onwards, don't use the space anywhere except under double quotes or under single quote. Under single quote or under double quote, use the space. Then don't use the space anywhere. Even while creating a folder name also, don't choose the space. Even while creating any file, don't choose the space. Space also a special character. Everybody knows, I think. Even though you don't know, please remember, space also a special character. Space also a special character. No special character allowed in the identifier except underscore. Except underscore, no other special characters allowed. So whenever you are going for student name as a variable, most of the people choosing variable name as a student space name. Till now, you might have given a space everywhere for giving a meaningful message between two words. In case of general document, while composing a sentence with multiple words, definitely space is required to get a meaningful message to the sentence. But in case of software, don't go for multiple words as a one entity. Don't go for multiple words as a one group. Don't go for multiple words as a one identifier. If at all you have a requirement of choosing multiple words as one identifier, don't give a space, go for underscore. Underscore is allowed anywhere. Come on. Through underscore, you are specifying multiple words and finally making as a one word, no spaces here. One word only, but internally we can easily understand like a combined two words. Underscore is allowed in the identifier. Go for a separator as underscore. Some beginners are going for hyphen. Hyphen also a special character. It is not allowed. From today onwards, try avoiding even hyphen also as a separator. Go for underscore only as a separator. This is all about identifier rules. We have seen clearly all the rules. Please observe. Lowercase alphabet anywhere, uppercase alphabet anywhere, digit from second location onwards. No keyword, no keyword, no space, no hyphen. Go for underscore if at all multiple words you are choosing as a one identifier. Go for underscore. That's all in this section. We will continue in the next section.